We are in October. In the month of August, one of my daughters here brought a young guy who came from London to me, that he met the guy on social media. Meeting on social media to marry. Met the guy on social media, and the guy had the audacity to come to my office. Came to my office in summer shorts, wore Nike and white sauce with this thing, with Apple AirPod in his ears. Was chewing this thing with iPhone 12 Pro Max. You can't intimidate me with because I use one. If I were using Infinite, that's why when you hold 12 Pro Max, I'll be shaking like this. He was holding the phone like that. When I am somebody, when I'm in the office, I hardly, you see, I'm not a phone person. When I saw that he was holding his phone like that, me too, I moved my phone and I turn it. For him to see. He sat before me. Oh, daddy, this is the boy I told you about. I look at the young man. I said, sir, you're welcome. I said, my name is Eric. He started. Madam, we are Shantini. Who call London sister yes, who slayer Ashanti. It will prove that we don't need prophecy to show that you are an Ashanti. Madam Fosh, Jaisa. And you mean Kroma. Me now who me high blood pressure. I made up my mind, said me who is here, so you can't come and give me pressure. Okay, I've heard a lot about you. See, as he was talking there, I was busy, so I don't even want to waste my time. So I just switched spiritually. So I asked him a question. He said, no, I don't have anybody. I said, listen, did he tell you who you are before? My name is Prophet Eric. They don't lie before. You will drop and die now. Then he changed the answer to his complicated. Then I asked him for the last time. You know the last time? I asked him for the last time. And the last time, he now said that he wants the girl to excuse us. And you see, I don't want to use certain languages for anybody to think that I'm insulting them. But you see, one of the height, I'm not insulting you, I'm describing your behavior. One of the height of stupidity is to meet a man on social media. You people begin to talk. Then you start planning marriage. Then you start using money to buy stuffs for the marriage. Take the list from your parents, buy everything on the list. Then the man lands in Ghana. Then you go and give the thing to the man, because the man says that he's coming to do the engagement before he leaves. And everything the girl bought was with the man. But do you know what I saw spiritually? The guy was going to marry somebody in second D. So all the things that were bought, he was going to use it to marry. Were you not here when I was prophesying to somebody here that his boyfriend is marrying somewhere? Where was that? Takrati. So he should go. Anaji Estate. Okaiva. See, you need God's help. When you have God's help, your help does not come from social media. God can use social media to bless you, but God's way of doing it is not the way you are doing it. So you see a lot of people spending time on social media because and social media is fake. If you don't know you follow social media, there is nothing on social media that is very real. That is true, except me that I'm preaching to you now, and except the men of God that preach to you. There is nothing else on social media that is real. I saw a video on social media where somebody had bald hair. When they finish fixing the hair, you will never know the head they carry until you go to the honeymoon. It's at the honeymoon that you know there are people carrying motorway with that potholes on their head. Slap somebody and say that the help of God. Look at somebody and say the help of God. You don't need to be ignorant about the fact that God is willing to help you. And you also don't need to be arrogant about God's arrogant enough not to ask for God's help. Also, everything I have become in this life is as a result of his help. I know that, and I say that all the time. I know people who are still writing chartered accountancy exam till today. I know people. But I was not going to class frequently as them. But I've chartered several years, and they have not still chartered. You need God's help. I don't care what you think you have. Go and ask Steve Jobs. He is in the grave now. Apple is still moving. I don't care who you think you are connected to now. They can have your wedding at the presidential villa. It doesn't change anything. I didn't say anything. I'm just preaching. Wherever your mind has gone to, God should help you, because God knows that me, I'm only preaching. I remember the first time an MP came to my office. I looked at him. He was an MPP MP. I looked at him. He said, the primaries is tight. I just looked at him. I told him, sir, you have won the primaries and you have won the seat. He said, Prophet, it's not possible. It's not. I said, you have won the seat. He said, how that? Is there any direction? I said, you take what I am telling you. He won the seat. When he won the seat, he came to me. He said, he came to me. He said, Prophet, I want you to leave the job you are doing. I want you to be my prophet and I will pay you. I'm telling you the truth. So I asked him, how much are we looking at? He said, quote your price. Then I laughed. I told him, no. 4 years after, during this recent day, he came to me. I was coming down from the staircase. I said, you have lost the seat. Exactly. So if I have relied on his help, immediately after 4 years, I am done. I am done. The problem with you is that you have tied your aprons to men. What God has said in his word is not what you are holding on to. He said the word of God. The writer of Hebrews said that by two immutable things it is impossible for God to lie. Then he jumped and said that because it's impossible for God to lie, we have this as the anchor for our souls. The word of God is our anchor for life, not the word of men. Because what man has said today, he can forget tomorrow. What man has said today, he can try waking up and never wake up. And I realize that he is dead. That's why you need the help of God. Look at someone and say, you need the help of God. Look at the person very well. Tell the person, Uchin Dodo, you need God's help. Look at the person, say, Uchin Dodo. And then me catch you, me tree about. You need the help of God. But ladies and gentlemen, the hand of God from the scriptures we read is an hand of help. God's hand is a helping hand. Now you see, there is something called, is it antro? Although when you in Bible school, antro, yeah, atropo, something, where physical features are attributed to God, like eyes, ears, anthropology. No, anthropomorphism or something like that, where physical attributes are attributed to God to make the weak human mind be able to grasp what God looks like. When I go to do you know how I saw that word? I didn't see that word at Bible school. I saw that word when I was reading somebody's book some years ago, and it has stuck in my mind. I think it's Reverend Steele's book or something like that. Anthropomorphism, yes, where human hands and eyes and ears are attributed to God to make our weak mind grasp what God looks like or what the operations of God is like. You see, that concept should not be driven too far, because God is incomprehensible. Okay, because God is not a human being, God is spirit. But when you read the Bible, about 34 times in the Bible, the hand of God is mentioned. So in the King James Version, in another version is 34, in the King James Version is 39. So we have 36 in the Old Testament, and then we have 3 in the New Testament. So the hand of God is just a metaphoric description to make you understand that what your hand can do, God can do beyond and greater. Are you here? That is why there are certain statements here. The statement must be understood properly. You see, like what God cannot do does not exist. That statement must be understood and must be understood in the contents of the need of man. But when that statement is made like that, it's a wrong statement. Because God cannot steal. Stealing exists. So that statement is only tied to the need of man. Oh, I'm preaching. So the hand of God is a helping hand. Look at somebody and say, the hand of God is a helping hand. The difference between where you are standing today and where you are supposed to be is your helper. So the help of God or the hand of God is the bridge that can catapult you or move you to where you are, to where you must be tomorrow. So God's hand is a helping hand. So all the people that experience the hand of God in the scriptures literally were helped by God. We can talk about the Nehemiahs. We can talk about the Ezras. We can talk about the Elijahs. We can talk about all these people. They experience. So the hand of God is a helping hand. So as I talk about the fact that the month of October is a month of supernatural help, what I am trying to say is that the hand of God is about to be stretched towards your direction. And when the hand of God is stretched towards your direction, God will help you. Also, I just heard something. And the person whose amen will be the loudest will be the one to enter into that realm. I just heard him say that my hand that engenders speed in life will be straight towards somebody this week. I don't like your amen. Can I prophesy again? The hand of God, I just heard him say, my hand that engenders supernatural speed in the name of Jesus is coming upon your life this week. You know, mommy, yesterday they were doing Bible studies in the canteen, where it's not Bible studies, but they were arguing about the Bible. No, that they were discussing the Bible. Then I was going to the other office and I bypassed them, and one of them, who is a man of God, was arguing that life, you need to take your time. This hurrying in life and speed in life, people preaching that receive speed, it's not correct preaching. Then I look at him and I turn and look at him. I say, sir, you see, you are getting something wrong. There is the place of patience. There is also a place for peace, speed in life. Why did the Bible, the psalmist pray and say, God, satisfy me early? That means that there are certain things in life that must come to you as speed early. There is nothing enjoyable marrying at the age of 50 years. Certain things must come to you early. And if speed in life was not important, the Lord will not have said that those who wait upon me, they shall renew their strength, and I will give them the capacity to run. I will give them speed. So don't sit there and put your human interpretation in the Bible, because speed is important. There are certain monies you must make when you are 40 years. There are certain monies you must have when you are 30 years. Because when you are 60 years, that money does not become enjoyable. 60 years, there are things you cannot enjoy. You can eat the ice cream, now you are 30 years. You can drive the G-Wagon. Now. You can walk, wear the sneakers and the shorts, and wear the summer and the Gucci slogan, and be slaying around, and be holding handbags that are Gucci handbags. Now that you are young. What is iPhone 13 doing in the hands of a 65 years old man? I'm preaching, sir. My God will satisfy you early. You will receive your money early. Your bank account will fill early. The louder the amen, the quicker the manifestation. So God's hand is a helping hand. So let's run through the text very quickly. So Isaiah chapter 41. So the first text we read, the psalmist said, help me. Let your hand help me, because I love your word. Now let's look at Isaiah 41 and we'll see what the hand of God does there. From verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. I will help thee. Yeah, I will uphold. The reason why I will have the capacity, or I'll be able to help you, or how I will help you, is to uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. So number one, the hand of God in this text has the capacity to impact fearless courage. So he says, fear not. We live in a world that is ruled with fear. Every news you hear on the CNN, Fox News, Sky News, all those networks, they are news of fear. A lot of people are walking through life and they are afraid. Fear of the unknown. There are people who wake up and they are even afraid of tomorrow. They are afraid of a sickness they don't have in their body coming to affect them. And most of the time when you hear that somebody died from this and the person is close to you, then you are scared. People are afraid of the unknown. People are afraid of the future. People are even afraid that the mistake they committed yesterday has the capacity to ruin their tomorrow. But ladies and gentlemen, when the hand of God is stretched towards a person, God imparts upon that person fearless courage. And you see, one of the ways fear comes is by what we see. What you see determines how you fare in life. That is why you should be very careful what you allow your children to see. The kind of cartoons that are being shown now are cartoons where cartoons are kissing. Don't come to me for deliverance if your movie taste is horror movies. Because let me tell you something. If you are watching horror movies enough, listen, anything you watch with your eyes, there is spirit attached to it. That's why there is no music you listen to that is neutral.